Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I would get this Trebuchet-HAC all finalized and then also kind of show you the two variations of it, or basically what it could be upgraded and how many quantum cores that takes, and how much CPU you're rolling with on each scenario. So to start with, here is the stock one. Now I made a number of updates to it since I showed it last or used it in the videos. Basically, taking a look at the CPU, this is with no quantum cores, so we're pretty much at the cap of 2.1 million. I played with a couple of the turrets. I realized the version I was using was missing a turret as well, so I've changed a couple turrets around here and there. It's mostly the same. Um, some changes that I did make to the ship, a few little changes. Now, one, when I was playing, I lost this rear window in one of the combat excursions with it, which would have killed the entire farm, which was, there was no wall here. So what I did is I built a additional combat steel wall in place here in case you have a breach anywhere out in this area. You're going to keep your farm safe if you're using the farm. So I think that'll help, and that would prevent the issue that took place before. Another change I made. Now this was a pretty big one. I wanted more space thrust power. So what I did is I scrapped out the two large thrusters in the back and added two more XL thrusters. This is guaranteeing that you're going to have a lot of forward speed in space, and it works. Now, of course, CPU is pain in the butt to deal with. So what I ended up doing because of that is actually removing the artillery. So it doesn't actually have any stock artillery turrets, but it has locations still for 5 of them. Um, so that's kind of how it came out. Another change that I did make on the ship is I kind of dressed up this side over here more and added some different LCDs so they're matching on each side. I also added another 320K secondary ammo storage. So that is located on the other side of the hangar from where the main ammo bay is. So now you've got 320K storage bins. One is just dedicated for storage. 2 are for ammo. It doesn't really matter if they're labeled ammo or not. You can put whatever else in there and work with them just the same. Let's see, now another thing I did, but I don't know if these are really needed, is I did label these inserts into the wall a little better. Basically, you have locations for 6 large generators that you could add into the ship. However, with the thruster changes and testing it with everything else, I don't really find a need for adding these thrusters. Now, an idea I would like to do on the ship is to add like 1 or 2 of these and have that as your like standby power, where it would kick off both main generators. Currently, that's another thing I better turn back on before I had power saving mode on. This is something I've been adding to try to cut down fuel use when you're in standby or just parked somewhere. Basically, it shuts off what it can, including the gravity generator. I don't know if maybe I shouldn't have tied that to the same thing or not, but I wanted it to be able to be, not use much power at idle. So I'm trying to increase ways for it to do that. I assigned other things to that power saving as well, like your constructors and some of the cooking stations, actually all the cooking stations. I labeled all of those. Also in the back area I did add some cargo boxes, and they're all labeled as well for landing pad cargo box 1 through 4. I've been just kind of moping around on the thing and doing all kinds of little tweaks and changes here and there. Caught some texture issues, some other stuff like that. But the main modifications is more storage, more forward thrust, and now it's pretty potent with forward thrust. I wanted this thing to be fairly quick. So this is the version that would be put on the workshop for Reforged Eden. I guess I don't have any of that stuff on there. Everything's tested for air tightness and all that fun stuff. Um, Final cost and specs. It's only running 10 missile turrets, 10 cannon turrets, 7 flak turrets, stock. Um, and that's your basic cost for the ship. A little bit, it's a little quicker than it was, and I wanted that because I realized when you started docking a bunch of stuff to it, especially other CVs and whatnot, it's going to slow down. You want that speed in space so you can get away from battles that, maybe get out, recharge your shield, or just sit there and grin and bear it. So the other version I've got here, this is the one that's been fully upgraded. I wanted to assess how many quantum cores it would take to add full functionality to the ship. And this includes the extra thrusters, um, all 6 artillery launchers, so the 2 up here and the 4 more in back, all 5 of the artillery turrets, and filling in every single bay that didn't have a turret before, as well as adding in a repair bay and console on the interior and a offline protection. So basically, I basically put in everything imaginable, every turret position. Right now, taking a look at this version here, CPU wise, I took it to 3.3 million, and it fits just in that at 3.284. Let's see. Oh, I also added another little feature in this version too. And what I did is I made it. I put back in a blast door up front here, as well as a regular door for because this room does not have oxygen in it. I cut that out again. But I put in a decoy turret in here as well. So, and I increased the level of blocks over here, like in the front, before you get to the turret. So basically, I want this part of the ship to take damage. I want the enemy to focus fire over there because it's built for it. So with the addition to all the other turrets, it does have that on there as well. So total loadout of weapons on this version, it has 23 missile turrets, 5 artillery turrets, 12 cannon turrets, 6 artillery cannons, which are the launchers, 8 flak turrets, and of course the detector. Now that didn't really increase, well, it did increase the cost quite a bit on the big stuff, Estrium and Zecosium. But what it took to accomplish this is 6 quantum cores added in. So what I did is in the core room over here, basically I've labeled these now. There's like a little, it'll tell you like quantum and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So basically in this version it's got 6 quantum cores, and that brings it to its full potential. And that's everything installed. Even out in the hangar here, we've got a repair console and the repair base put in place. The decoy turret, just about everything, basically. Now, this ship obviously is built from combat steel and not Xeno. Now, Xeno is probably the best to use in Reforged Eden versus weight and strength, but it textures just terribly, and I just, unless it's a hidden blocks in the ship, I just don't really want to use that stock on anything, because a lot of what I try to do too is to make things that look decent. And if I build stuff out of Xeno, that's a huge handicap on trying to make anything look decent or texture it properly or anything. So it'll look kind of like Minecraft, and I don't want to make things that look like Minecraft. So I do have that dilemma with Xeno material, but this is basically what it could be with 6 quantum cores and fully decked out with everything, including the additional thrust in here. So you got the extra down thrust. When I put in this big these XL thrusters back here, I actually removed one of the potential strafing thrusters that used to be in the location about where that turret is. I guess it's allowing for 3 large thrusters per side. So I did put in the additional one on the front, and then I put in the extra down thrusters. So it only has 4 additional thrusters you can add at this point, rather than 6, which it had before. But I think the benefit of being able to do that faster speed in space is worthwhile. As in power generation. Even with all the extra thrusters, turrets, everything under the sun in here, I didn't need to actually add any more generators. Now, I was prepared for it because I got all these extra, I got like 6 slots to add in your regular large generators. And I didn't need to put in any of them. I tested it flying in atmosphere, powering up the shield. It was fine. It's cool with the 2. Now, what I would, ultimately like to do is add in like I said, like 2 or 1 or 2, just one of these large generators, and have the other main generator turn off with the power saving option, where it only is running the entire ship on this like small backup generator. I think that would save more power yet, but CPU, I don't want to add another quantum core for it either, and I'm pressed on CPUs, where if I try to add in even 1 more of those generators, I believe it is too much, and it puts it over by a smidgen. In fact, here, I'll place one real quick here. One of these slots, and yeah, you see what happened there. It's like barely over. This could be an option. I would probably do it in game. If I could, just keep the standby operating on 1 of these generators, and let's see, let's turn off power savings, and then let me also add that control to the other generator here. Oops. So power savings. So now, basically, the entire ship is operating off this 1 small generator, which I think would probably lower its power usage some more yet. I'm a little curious on standby right now and how much power this thing is taking. Let me maybe I can find out in a bridge. What just happened here? Oh, I don't have I got the thrusters disabled, so they should be. Something's working yet. Did I miss a thruster? Oh, I did. Oh, these new ones I put in, I missed them. Okay. They should be on power savings as well. All right. So let's do that. Just kind of giving it final inspection. Basically, I'll probably start taking some screenshots today, and I plan on releasing the ship tomorrow. I just wanted to, I don't really want to put out like another version for like one that's upgraded or not upgraded, or one that's vanilla or not vanilla. Kind of sucks when you're kind of like pressed on all that though. Like, what should you do? I don't want to release a bunch of different versions of the same ship. So I figured this video might be a little helpful too if you plan on trying to grab this ship and use it in game. And keep in mind, this is Reforged Eden. It could be vanilla, but you'd have to alter the turrets on it, and it's not going to be able to support as many turrets as what's actually on the ship, I don't believe. Okay, so that put down all the thrusters, and let me get back up into a bridge somewhere. How about the upstairs one this time? And I don't know how much difference that made, but basically 993 minutes on standby idle. And let's see, I got the shield off. The thrusters, that's weird. Okay, power savings mode is, oh. Alright, so that's how we should be. There. And now I'm 9,000 over on CPU. How did that happen? I thought I was 3,000 over. Am I looking at the wrong ship? Oh, I'm looking at the one that's fully upgraded here. Oh, okay. 9,000 over. Well, I could probably go for that. I don't think that's too bad. I guess you could shave off a little bit. Probably. I mean, if I removed this decoy turret out front, I could probably be all right with the CPU on that as well. But it's basically what I'm working out, and some different customization options, I guess, for you after you get the ship and want to get it rolling. So on this version here, fully upgraded. Let me kick this back on. Let me also turn on the shield. Yeah, 9,000 over. I guess that's, comparatively speaking to the numbers, that's not a lot, but so yes, it can take off in the atmosphere. Your speed going forward is pretty good right now. It does have some turning. I mean, this is a heavy ship built of combat steel and pretty thick in a lot of places. So I think it'll work out all right. And I don't think that little bit over CPU is going to bother you if you wanted to add in a backup generator. And that's the only reason I'm over on CPU is because of that other option that I thought would be kind of neat. But I am curious, so I'm going to remove that generator again. Let me just balance this thing off here a second. And let me hop in there and get rid of it. I put it over here. Okay, so you're out. And then we'll put you, okay, now if I put it in power savings now, it'll shut down all generators, and I don't want that to happen, so I gotta leave one of these on. And then power savings. I kinda got that switch backwards, don't I? It's like when you got it off, it's on, and maybe I'll look at that. Alright, so what does that do with, see, you can see the difference there. Like, I was up in the 900-minute range on the amount of fuel that I've got. Well, hold on. Okay, so we're at 815. I'm gonna pop this one back in again. I'm really curious on how much of a difference this would actually make. Yeah, I'm going the wrong way. So let's pop one of these back in. Oh, and let's also turn off the shield. Fair comparison. Okay, so we put in this. And then we'll turn this one off. Actually, let's look at it before I turn it off. Well, yeah, I wanna see where this is at. So okay, so 972. So if I remove or take, shut this one down. I'll back up in here. I'm still 972. I guess that makes no difference whether I'm running a single small generator or the two big generators. All right, well that's a lost cause. I thought it would make sense, you know, turning off the big ones and just keeping things operating on a small generator while you're parked. But it doesn't seem to care. So if I just do that, and then we'll take this one off, power savings. I might have to manually turn it back on too here. Alright, and then look at our numbers again. Okay, 971, 9. Okay, it makes sense. Okay. Pointless, doesn't seem to matter if you're operating your ship off a big one at standby or a small one at standby. It's gonna pretty much do the same thing. What else could happen though is all these turrets are on. I'm wondering if I shouldn't put in some kind of well, okay. We got a manual override for that. So hold on, I'm gonna get back to a bridge here. So, okay, so we're 971.3, hop in the P menu. I'm now going to turn off the turrets and weapons. And that, okay, so that sucks a lot of power. Now we're at 2267. Okay, that's good to know. So yeah, if you're in a safe spot and you don't want all your turrets running, then you can shut them down. I might add another control for that too in the before I release the ship. Just trying to maximize its power. So at this rate, again in a safe spot, can operate the ship, use it as a player base, grow farms, do your crafting, and not have it suck a ton of power when you're doing it. I think with the available CPU too, there's still some. I've got a bit. I could pop in a couple more fuel tanks. And this is on the fully decked out version too. So I'll have to take a look at these changes on the stock one. But yeah, it could get a couple more fuel tanks. There's spots in the ship where you can probably add those pretty easily. I had other spots in here that I decided not to because I was trying to be really skimpy on CPU usage. Yeah, kind of like how this is rolling now. I think getting kind of tweaked out. Let's see, did I? Technically, you could add some more. Oh yeah, these were more fuel base here. I guess I don't have those labeled, but let me see if we grabbed a couple of the big fuel tanks. I don't think these require a whole ton of CPU. Actually, what do they require? Oh god, nothing. Like almost nothing on CPU, comparatively speaking. Alright, so yeah, I'll just put those back in stock anyway. So that, yeah, now you're going to get even a longer running time, especially if I fill this thing up. Let me get back to a bridge. And we'll fill up the tank. And with power saving, I gotta invert this. Everything's backwards. Yeah, all right. Yeah, now we're sitting at 45, 49, and standby time. So yeah, I can deal with that. I can deal with that. All right. Well, anyway, that's all I wanted to show today, and yeah, I just wanted to go over all the specs and show you where everything came out in the end. Final version, final tweaked out version with the quantum cores, how much quantum cores it's going to take. How many turrets and things you can get on here. Of course, you can mix and match and put in, the turrets of your choosing to some extent. Some of these turrets are cheaper than the other ones, like the rocket turrets cost more CPU than, say, the flak turrets or especially the cannon turrets. But that's completely optional on how you want to do your loadout. Some of the stuff, like these top ones here, I'm not really expecting to do damage. They're just more or less there for the AI to shoot at. Same thing with the one on the bottom here, and now the extra one that's embedded inside the ship on this one. So I think with all that in place, it'll hold its own against a lot of things in Reforged Eden. Then again, if you want to solo a dreadnought, not enough ship. You need something. You need a lot more firepower and probably something crazier yet. Now, if you were doing some co-op play and you brought in this and some other players brought in their ships and you all went at it, you'd probably be okay. But hopefully, you know, if you started ever taking that severe of damage, you could hopefully get away, and that's important too. That is why I sacrificed the artillery stock to put on these back thrusters. I just felt it was too important not to have that capability. And now, you know, if you load in some SVs and HVs and other weight to the ship, you'll still be able to hit your maximum space speed. Um, so that's good. Anyway, that's all I've got for today, and I will probably be back Monday with another video on some other new stuff. And then I'll start talking about releasing some Scar creations and that new MCRN tank thing concept, and some other things that I've got just chilling out. I've actually got a lot of things I could potentially release right now. So in the upcoming weeks, I'll try to put a lot more of this to the workshop. Some of the stuff I just been holding back on, I wanted to kind of use it in game and see what I liked and didn't like, and some of the stuff I just plain and simply scrapped. Um, that I just never thought were going to be very good. Oh no, texture problem. Had to throw that in there. All right. Anyway, y'all have a good day. Adios.